Education Association, Bob Peterson.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to start off with just a little brief story from my 5th grade classroom. Yesterday, we read the children's book, Richard Wright in his library card. Wright, an important African-American author, was denied his civil rights while growing up in the South in the 1920s. As a teenager in Memphis, he couldn't get a library card because he was black. It was only that with the help of a white ally whose card he borrowed that Wright was able to check out books and pursue his dreams. One of Milwaukee's civil rights leaders, Lloyd Barbie, the lawyer who worked against school segregation, had the same experience in Memphis. Richard Wright and Lloyd Barbie were denied their civil rights because they were denied a library card. Today, thanks to the civil rights movement, all children can get a library card. But they are still denied their civil rights because school libraries are being gutted. Librarians are being eliminated. And neighborhood libraries are cutting hours and staffs. We need a new civil rights movement. A library card without a quality library is a sham. The same is true for arts, music, and physical education. People like Jackie Robinson and Branch Rickey fought to break the color line in sports. Others fought to extend equal rights for women in sports through the passage of Title IX in 1972. Today, these rights are compromised in Milwaukee. Most children do not have access to physical education teachers. Or take music. In 1939, the famous African-American singer Marian Anderson was denied the right to sing at Constitutional Hall in Washington, D.C. Today, this would not happen, but the right is compromised for children of Milwaukee. Their music programs are being slashed due to budget cuts. It took a massive civil rights movement to win civil rights for people like Richard Wright, Lloyd Barbie, Jackie Robinson, and Marian Anderson. Today we need an even larger movement to make those rights meaningful. It's fitting that today's march will cross the 16th Street Viaduct, an icon of the open housing marches led by Father James Groppe. And we can learn from Groppe. He was not only a civil rights leader, but he went on to become president of the Bus Drivers Union. He understood the need to link civil rights and worker rights. We in the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association promise to fight for civil rights for all. We promise to defend and improve our Milwaukee public schools. Our children deserve libraries, art, music, physical education, small class sizes, and quality teachers. We must not rest. We will not rest until our children's civil rights are guaranteed. Thank you very much.
Bob Peterson, el nuevo presidente del Sindicato de Estudiantes, merecen tener una educación amplia.
Okay, our next speaker, my alderman, my alderperson, and a strong supporter of public education, Nick Kovac. Nick. Thank you to all of you for being here. It's a beautiful day today, and we're going to need a lot of energy and a lot of anger today. When I was 4 years old, I started going to this school, McDowell Montessori School.
And this school and Milwaukee Public Schools and the teachers and the principals and the school board members and my parents, it's my dad's birthday today, happy birthday, Dad. It took more than a dad and a mother. My mother's here today too. I couldn't have done it without them, but they couldn't have done it without this school system, without the right to a public education. 44, Vel Phillips, Father Grappi, Peggy Grappi, the Commandos, the NAAC Youth Council, Annie Woodward, and many of you, I'm sure, not me, I wasn't born yet, marched across the same bridge we're going to march across today. And we're marching in their footsteps. Literally, we're marching in their footsteps. The 16th Street Viaduct is now the Father Grappi Unity Bridge, but we're also marching in the footsteps of their struggle. And their struggle was not won with one march. I hope this one march is all it takes. Feeling we're going to need to march again, and we're going to need to stay committed to this cause. They were marching 44 years ago, so no matter what color you were, no matter where you came from, if you had the money to buy a house anywhere you wanted in this city. And in retrospect, you think they had to march for that? But they did. We had to march for that right. Just like today, you might be thinking, and I'm sure in 40 years we'll be thinking, they had to march because the children of Milwaukee deserved what Bob Peterson just described, deserved the right to a public education. We shouldn't have to march for this, but we do. And it's going to take more than one march. It took them 200 marches, and I'm ready to march 300 times, 300 straight days if we have to. I hope you're all ready to march with me, because this is not a fight about how much money to spend. This is a fight about how to spend the money. We're going to spend it on schools, not on prisons, and not on highways. The children today, the children born today are more important than the cars of tomorrow.
Estamos escuchando de Nick, tuve aquí en la educación pública, incluyendo las detrás de mí. 44 años atrás, nosotros marcharon líderes que lucharon en contra de la segregación en las áreas de vivienda aquí en Milwaukee. Y nosotros, en nuestra marcha hoy, vamos a cruzar ese mismo puente y seguir esos mismos tiempos, esos mismos pasos que ellos abrieron para nosotros. Ellos marcharon por 200 días. Si es necesario marchar por 300, estoy listo de hacer, porque necesitamos, no es cuestión de dinero o qué tanto, es cuáles son nuestras prioridades. Deben de ser educación pública, todas las cárceles, ni las casas.
Thank you. I just want us to recognize we have a distinguished guest here, one of the 14 who saved us, left the state, Chris Larson. Now we have a statement. Gwen Moore could not come today, but she made us promise to read a statement, and Ola Irvin is going to read it. Would you go ahead?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ola Irvin, and I'm a proud parent of Meyer and McDowell Montessori School. I'm also an alumni of Juneau Business High School. Okay, here to deliver a few words to you from Gwen Moore. Our kids count. I wish I could be there with you today alongside my longtime allies and friends from the many organizations involved in this march. I was there with many of you in Madison this winter, and I'm profoundly glad to know that for our kids and most of our vulnerable population continues today in Milwaukee. Our education system is in crisis. Education, jobs, and services across the country, including Milwaukee, have already been cut to the progress and improvements in the Milwaukee public schools, even though we felt the pain of never having the funding we greatly need. Additional funding cuts will disseminate the progress we have made. Children cannot thrive, cannot succeed, cannot even survive under these circumstances. Can we make Wisconsin open for business? We turn our backs to our kids. Can we make open for business if we short-generation of our Wisconsinites? Of course not. And that is why keep standing strong. Keep on marching. Keep speaking out that Gwen is with you all the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ola. And I've given the superintendent less time than I normally give. Sorry about that. But he's going to send us off in a second, and then we have Val Phillips speaking after.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for answering this call to action. We're in a very desperate time. Really appreciate you standing up for our children, because standing for our children is the thing. I just came by to say to you that difficult place. It's irresponsible to have a school district that doesn't provide art for our children. It's irresponsible to have a school district that doesn't 3- and 4-year-old program. It's irresponsible to make class sizes 35-6. And folks, if there was ever a time in Milwaukee's history that we need to be together, it is now. We stand on the shoulders of a lot of great people. We stand on Grappy's shoulders. Stand on Barbie's shoulders. And we stand on Mrs. Folks, people didn't make these jobs for us to turn back now. We stand on Annie Woodward's shoulders. So today, shoulders, I ask you, our children first. Don't be fooled with vouchers. Don't be fooled with such as that. That's education. Public, but not public. You have a system that children. Democracy is about our civil rights and our children. Will you will not turn around. God bless you. God you. Folks, we will do this, and we will not stop. Not stop until all our children are served. Thank you so very, very much.
Acabamos de escuchar del superintendente de las escuelas diciendo que no es si no con nuestros.
And now the grand of today, the symbol of the 6th Street marches of the NAACP Youth Commandos, and we some of them right here. Give them a hand. Phillips, our grand today, as a before we start marching.
How is that? Everyone, can you hear me? It's really wonderful to be here and get into fight. It's a fight. Because to public education is excellent. Now I know the title of Grand March, like I'm very special. I'm just one of you. No. But I want you to know, when I decided so, I knew not Milwaukee Public Library book. How there. That's a true story. I also want you to Northfield Avenue Grammar School, Junior High School, and North Division. Now this administration, what they're doing to private ed, absolutely let it persist. They want to keep and make the poor more. And you know, BS. What BS means. I don't know what that means. That is, it wouldn't be. I'm just privileged to be here, be a part of this march. It's just one, and I think we'll win. And we.
We're going to start lining up. Before we do, recognize President Michael Bonds is here. President Pete Spence, 3. So, pretty announced. So, start lining up on the line. We're going to go lines of 6s. We have a permit for them up yet, so we'd have to be for adults. We're going to as we proceed. So please, and take instructions as we.
And leading the members from the for open housing in 1968. So if they could please go to the.
Thank you. I got the mic off. Yeah, I grabbed the mic, but I leave, right? Yeah, just there.
McDowell leaves, so you need to use the bridge without those things in here. So much. If you're on the Sorry McDowell, Sorry Fernwood, Lloyd, want to be together, Sada over there, trees in the grass. Be in the big trees in the. Thank you very much.